This tree is bent at almost exactly my shoulder height. It's still alive, and about 2 miles back, I found 5 more just like it. That's not wind. That's not a deer. Stick around. I'll show you why. I wasn't looking for this. I found it by accident. For the last few years, I've been spending real time in remote stretches of forest, not trails, not parks, places most people never walk through. And I kept seeing the same thing over and over. Trees bent, twisted, broken in ways that didn't line up with weather, animals, or anything human. Today, I want to show you what I think these actually are, give you a different perspective, and why I don't think they are accidents. A tree break isn't just a fallen tree. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a living tree that's bent, twisted, or snapped, usually at a specific height, and left standing, alive. Structures that are one on top of the other, nature doesn't stack in patterns. Sometimes the fibers are spiraled, like they were twisted under pressure. Then you can see the trees folded over, but never actually split. And sometimes I'll find several of these in the same area. Storms don't do this. Storms snap trees. They don't bend them at a shoulder height or even higher and leave them standing, right? Animals rub against saplings, scrape bark. They don't apply sustained torque to a mature tree. See it once, it's nothing. See it repeating in the same kind of pattern, deep in the woods, that's when it starts to feel like information. Before I go further, let me rule out the obvious stuff, because I did the same thing you're probably doing right now. Wind doesn't twist fibers in a controlled direction. It just breaks things. There's no cut marks, no saw lines, nothing that points to a person. And large animals break trees low and messy. They're not clean and not consistent. Once you've seen or spent enough time out here, you would start to recognize the difference between damage and pattern almost instantly. This isn't chaos. It's deliberate, or at least it looks that way to a lot of us. There's also a real difference between debris and structure. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Debris is messy. It follows gravity. It piles up wherever it lands. A structure is placed. It leans with balance. And I keep finding the same shapes. Arches, teepees, triangles. Like even the breaks are a 90-degree break, bend. Like go into geometry with that, which there are videos here that you can go back on. Things crossed over each other. That's not natural. That's like literally something with intention doing this. So the detail that got me wasn't orientation. These things tend to face toward movement paths. Water, entry points into an area, not just randomly out into the trees. That's not decoration. That's not art. That feels like a statement. So what am I actually saying this is? I think first it's presence. It's saying we are here and you have noticed. A lot of the time it reads like a boundary, not aggressive, not threatening, just clear. And more than once, I felt it redirect me, an urge to slow down, stop, go a different direction. That's not dominance. If anything, it feels more relational than that. Instead of confronting you, wherever or whatever it's doing, this is speaking through placement and pressure instead. Really, it looks like geometry it's speaking through. So all my geometry enthusiasts, please comment. And if you have like your own on the boots, on the ground, feet experiences on geometry, let me know, because we could have a really good talk on that. So across a lot of cultures, there are stories about forest beings that communicate with the land, not over it. And when you look at Sasquatch behavior over time, this kind of non-verbal signaling lines up with a lot of that. No language, no signs, nobody's asking you to believe anything. Just interaction through the environment itself. I'm not showing you this to convince you of anything. I'm showing you because I think if you are paying attention, it's already there to be understood. I'll keep this part short. There were a couple times I ran into one of these markers and just kept walking anyway. And every time the woods got heavier, quieter, like everything closed in just a little, the moment I stopped pushing forward, the moment I actually respected it, it eased up. Nothing dramatic happened. Nothing jumped out at me. And honestly, that's the kind of the point. It doesn't need spectacle to make itself understood. If you want to try this yourself, don't go out looking for Sasquatch. Go out to, where you've had interactions or, feedback there could be in the area. Because this is going to be the wrong way in. Now look for a pattern instead. Look for what feels placed instead of fallen. Stuff that's intentional. Repeated instead of accidental. And pay attention to how you feel when you find it. Because a lot of this reads through sensation, telepathy, just as much as it does through the structure itself. This isn't about whether you believe me. It's about learning to actually look. This is the first one of these I'm putting out. There's a lot more I found that I haven't shown yet. And if you want to see where this goes next, stick around. I'll be back